Well, it's now 6:30. I want to welcome everyone to the Grant County Fiscal Court meeting. It's Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. It's now 6:30 p.m. Our invocation is going to be by Colton Simpson, deacon at Williamstown Baptist Church. If everyone could please stand.
Heavenly Father, we are thankful for this day. We're just grateful for the opportunity to gather here and look out and see the sunshine, Lord. We are thankful for the blessings, and we are thankful for our health as well. Lord, be with this court this evening, and may you use them to make good decisions for Grant County. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. If everybody could stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Pat, if I can get you to call roll.
Here. Magistrate Humphrey.
Present.
Magistrate Riley.
Present.
And Judge Dills.
Present. Moving down to approval of minutes, I present for a motion to approve the minutes on the regular meeting dated May 19th, 2020, and a special meeting dated May 21st, 2020.
Judge, having read the regular minutes from May 19th and a special meeting of May 21st, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of those meetings as presented.
I will. Please proceed.
I'll second.
I have a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to fiscal matters, item number 1, present for a review a motion to approve the claims drawn on the general fund, road fund, jail fund dated June 2nd, along with transfers as presented.
I just had one question, Judge. On the, looks like, do we have an actual amendment to the budget where we're we're on the road, on the repair of the road slippages for $51,000? Did the revenue come in for that?
How much? Which one are you referring to, Shauna?
Well, it's transfer 41. I didn't understand it a little on it.
Are you talking about the $51,400?
Yes.
Yes, for the revenue that transferred in on the slippages?
Okay. When we did that budget, we put the slippage money down in the reserves
Okay.
transfers. And as we need it, we move it up into the slippage line item.
Okay, and we
What
still
we
got
did.
a file for that though, right? Those was FEMA, right?
Yes, those are the roads that you all bid out, the two slips on Dryridge
Yes.
Mountain, Heathen Ridge. So that is to cover those slips because we've issued the POs for those, so we needed to move the money up.
Okay.
So because we're going to try to cut those checks and have those checks,
okay.
even though we won't pay them until
Okay.
the roads are completed.
Okay.
But we want to take the money out of this budget.
Okay.
But I think the question you may have, Shauna, is we received the money, but once we make the claim and make it, then we'll mail the check into
Yeah,
FEMA
we still have yet to
for
receive that money
reimbursement.
then.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Because I didn't understand for sure why it's amended there, but,
That's the way that program,
okay.
that's what it does. It
Okay.
prints it as an amendment, even though we're not amending the
It's
budget.
more or less a transfer, not an amendment.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
correct.
okay.
it's not an amendment.
All right, it was a little bit confusing there.
I'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes from the Grant County Fiscal Court May 21st.
Oh, we're on the budget.
No, we're doing the claims, Roger.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims presented this evening dated June 2nd for the road fund, jail fund, general fund, along with the requested transfers as presented.
There you go. And Roger, you want a second?
I'll second that.
I have a second by Roger. All in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Bear with us. We've been on Zoom meetings for 2 months. This is the first time we've been in person.
And we're
I
thrilled
had
to
those
see
minutes
each other
laying
in
front of me
person.
Still, and I was looking at the minutes as a man. Okay.
Okay, moving down to resolutions, number 2020-05. Present for a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the filing of a coronavirus Relief Fund, known as CRF, application for reimbursement of incurred expenses in the CRF funds with the Department of Local Government, known as DLG, and directing the Grant County Judge Exec Chuck Dills to execute any documents which is deemed necessary by DLG for reimbursement to the county, and authorizing the Judge Exec Chuck Dills to act and authorizing correspondence for the reimbursement. I need a motion.
I make a motion for the resolution as read this evening, number 2020-05 for Grant County.
I second.
I have a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Chuck, to you, Pat, Peggy, and others, thanks for all the work that you guys are doing to note the expenses that will qualify for this.
And just so the audience knows, this is a resolution that we needed to pass. We received through the CARES Act approximately $852,000 for reimbursement of any money we're out during the coronavirus. So, moving down to ordinances, first one on the agenda is present for a second reading and approval of ordinance number 0003-2020-0239, an ordinance relating to the 2020-2021 fiscal court budget, along with notice to be published in the local paper showing adoption if approved.
I make, excuse me, I make a motion for approval of ordinance 003-2020-0239 relating to the 2020-2021 fiscal court budget, along with the notice to be published in the local paper showing adoption.
I'll second the motion.
I have a first by Sean, a second by Roger. Pat, could you call roll?
Motion Humphrey,
Yes.
Motion Riley,
Yes.
Motion Codine,
Yes.
and Judge Dills.
Yes. Motion passes. Item number 2, present for a second reading approval ordinance number 004-2020-0240, an ordinance amending the revision to the Grant County personnel policy, along with the notice to be published in the local newspaper showing adoption if approved. And everybody's had a chance to look at that. That was changes made to the jail works 12-hour shifts, and it's basically about the calculation of overtime on the 12-hour shifts.
I'll make a motion we approve ordinance number 004-2020-0240, the ordinance amending and revising the Grant County personnel policies, along with the notice to be published in the local newspaper.
I will second.
I have a first by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to new business, present for a motion to approve the salaries for employees of the Grant County Fiscal Court, along with the Sheriff's Office and the Grant County Detention Center for the 2020-2021 fiscal year. And as you know, this is something we have to do annually prior to going into the new fiscal year.
I'll make a motion that we approve the salaries for the employees of the Grant County Fiscal Court, along with the Sheriff's Office and the Grant County Detention Center for the 2020-2021 fiscal year.
I second.
Motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Codine. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2 under new business, present for a motion to approve Justin Gibbs as electrical inspector for the county of Grant, Kentucky, effective June 2nd, 2020. Allow Judge Exec Chuck Dills to sign contract agreement. A little background on that: we currently have had 3 certified inspectors approved by the court. Mr. Daugherty had passed away about a year ago, and there's been sort of a vacancy in it. And I received a call and had been reached out by a couple individuals as electricians that if we could add another inspector to our county to speed the work up. I've met with Justin Gibbs. Some of you all may have met Justin Gibbs at some of our conferences. He's been there. He's out of the eastern Kentucky area, but he's also doing Owen County, I think Pendleton County. He's doing quite a few counties to the east and west and south of us. So I need a motion made for me to sign the contract with him.
I'll make a motion to approve the Dusty Gibbs as electrical inspector for the county of Grant, effective June the 2nd, 2020, and allow Judge Executive Chuck Dills to sign the contract agreement.
I will.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Codar. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3 under new business, present for a motion to declare as surplus the needs of the county per KRS 45A-425, various discarded bedding, broken desk, computer monitors, etc., which have become unusable for public use, and allow jailer Mike Webster to dispose of said surplus consistent with the public interest. Before I ask for a motion on it, these are things that are in the storage building that was prior to Mike Webster taking office as jailer. I went over and looked over everything with him. It's broken items, basically asking for a motion to declare it surplus to throw it in the dumpster. There's no resale value, and we couldn't sell the worn out mattresses anyway, so.
I make a motion to declare as surplus to the needs of the county per KRS 45A.425 for various discarding of bedding, broken desk, computer monitors, etc., which have become unsuitable for public use, and to allow jailer Michael Webster to dispose of said surplus consistent with the public interest.
I will second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Codar and a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving down to departmental reports, I present for a review the Grant County Animal Shelter Report, the Grant County Building Inspector's Report, the Grant County Road Supervisor's Report for the month of May 2019. No action required. Anybody have any questions on any of the department reports?
Just reviewing them, you know, here we've been in lockdown for how long?
3 months.
Yeah.
3 months. And, you know, the building permits are still way up there.
He's had a lot of activity in and out of his office.
Yeah, there's just a whole lot, and the road department has stayed very active, looks like every day. Of course, we're getting more and more calls as the weather gets better, of people getting out and about requesting more services, but we're getting them.
Yep. Okay, any other questions on reports?
This is 2 full pages.
Yes.
Building.
The building hasn't slowed down.
Pools, decks, barns, garages, homes. I mean, that is great
Yes.
to the taxpayers.
Yep.
Moving down to Judge Executive's report. One, I just want to welcome everyone. I hope that the room's made a difference, and I know that next meeting we'll have on the monitors the agenda. We had an issue with a laptop, and I actually have one coming in, so you'll be able to see the agendas on the monitors, and any PowerPoint presentations that's being presented, you'll be able to see out on the monitors out there. I just want to add to the road department, just to let everybody know, they're currently at 3 of the mowing tractors are out in the county. They're in the District 1, District 2, and District 3. They started Monday actually trying to keep up with the mowing. They're currently, the road crews out on Dry Ridge Mountain Zion Road, they've been out there since yesterday, trimming back trees that are hanging low on Dry Ridge Mountain Zion Road. So they're going to be out with the bucket truck trying to get as many trees down some of the county roads and some of the dead trees. So just bear with us. We have a small road department, but they're doing a very good job and an excellent job of trying to get the roadways cleared. Other than that, you know, we're just following a lot of the social distance guidelines as we are here at the meeting, trying to keep a little bit of a distance and still allow the public to be able to come in. I'm still doing some Zoom videos, as you all probably are also, just so we don't have to travel to a large group. So That's really, at this time, all I have to add on my report. Moving down to reports for Magistrate Humphrey, anything you want to add?
Just in District 3, like I said, we get some calls from some of the people that they've been locked up so long in home that now they're starting to get out and venture out. And they're reporting a lot of things in their areas that they think need attention. And I actually have an appointment tomorrow to go over into the Mount Zion community and spend the day over there with 4 or 5 different residents to see what their complaints are and see what we can do to help them out and get them going.
Roger, are those in like the compliance, like property cleanup issues, or
99% of them is property cleanup.
are they any of the ones already active on our list that's
Yes.
growing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I went over through there 2 weeks ago. I didn't bring the list with me, but I compiled a list of almost 30 properties that are just unreal. So people are getting tired of seeing that over there. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't want it next door to me either. So we'll address it as we seem fit to address it. But I'll compile the list, compare it to our current list, and I'll try to get photographs of those places as I'm over there tomorrow too.
Okay.
That's it.
Magistrate Codar?
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
My green light's not on.
But we can hear you, right?
Yeah, you can hear me.
About like the Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Tagged on.
Yeah, I know. The Highway 22 bridge, I'm told, is completed, but they're waiting for the asphalt to be laid to butt up against each end of the bridge. The estimated opening is going to be June 8th, but things can change with weather and that type of thing, but the bridge is considered finished. As Judge said, they have started mowing. I seen our Sherman Newtown was mowed today, and down around Heathen Ridge they've started mowing, and I noticed up around Heacon they've started mowing too. We'll begin work soon on the blacktop slips. There's 2 on Dry Ridge, Mount Zion. There's 1 on Heathen Ridge, and the third one, the fourth one.
Heacon Clark's.
Clark's Creek.
Heacon Clark's Creek, yes.
And Arnold
They've
Creek.
already been out for bid, and we've accepted who is going to be doing those. It's just a matter now of the blacktop people getting in their schedules.
And they're about a week out. They sent us an email 2 weeks out, and it was last week.
Yeah. So you'll be seeing some area completed in those areas. Also, since the bridge is finished on Highway 22, we ought to be releasing soon a resurface bid for Clark's Creek. It's not been released yet, but I was talking to Mr. Tatum today, and just as soon as the bridge is opened, we can then go ahead with trying to get bids out on Clark's Creek repaving.
Magistrate Riley?
Consistent with my peers, just following up on various county road issues, I wanted to thank the road department in reading Mr. Tatum's report. More than a handful of roads have been addressed around Williamstown Lake as they prepare for busy season pertaining to travel from elsewhere, so thank you to that. There are a few other roads, potential new slippage that we need to investigate pertaining very similar to the other ones that we have sought FEMA funding for or emergency funding where we need to further investigate, which is at the beginning of Mason Cordova Road. So I've got a couple emails to send just to begin to monitor that and to see how severe it truly is. The other thing I would appreciate if there is some sort of update that you feel would be appropriate to let the citizens know pertaining to the landfill and the situation that happened this weekend that you folks from an administration have already looked into. That's something that's hot that happened over the weekend that I just want to make sure that we address to the public that it was looked into and what's to come from a landfill services.
Yeah, and we'll be getting that out on Facebook with the new dates.
And so just to let folks know what had happened is from a volume standpoint, this past weekend, albeit that date was published up to the 11th a.m. hour, shortly after 10 o'clock, the dumpsters that were available exceeded capacity. So therefore, no more residential trash could be brought in, which left several residents who were hauling items in to be turned around, or to be turned away. Mr. Dills and Brian have communicated with the landfill, expressed, our concerns. To Roger's point, many of our citizens clearly have been home for several months, and some have taken the obligation and the time to do some cleanup, but yet waited for that date and were turned away. So they're supposed to be working, and we will publish a few additional dates, even though they would only typically be doing once a month right now. There seems to be
They're definitely going to be doing twice a month this month of June.
Okay.
They're doing it this Saturday and then the last Saturday of the month.
And then as social distancing and things with hopefully COVID settle down, we still are committing to the community an actual cleanup day.
Yes.
So we haven't forgot about that. These are just things we see on social media. So I just want to take the chance to acknowledge that the administration is aware, and new dates will be published on those matters.
Okay. Well, thank you. I just wanted to add, if you all haven't been down to the Grand County Park, they're getting the post painted for the disc golf, and the signage is in. So here within the week, plus they were working today on the mulch. So they're getting the park in good order as we're going into summer. Moving down to Jailer's report.
You're our first person to get to use the new mic. Mike.
Is it on? Is the green light on? Push the button.
Right in the middle of the page.
Yeah, you're on now. It's red.
Okay, so state inmate, we have 147 in there tonight. And county inmates, we have 23 for a total of 170. Still not much movement on change with DOC. We had a Zoom meeting today talking about going back to work, getting inmates out. And basically, the Jailers Association along with CAECO are working on making a template so we can send it to the state so it can be approved. Not really approved, but overseen by them to see that it meets all the qualities they would like to see. And then it goes on to the health department for approval. So realistically, we're a few weeks out for sure. And there is study work to get them back as quick as we can. As I know more, I will definitely let you all know more.
Yeah.
The other things are pretty much slowly processes as far as getting transportation going, getting the inmates moving. So as soon as we know more, I'll gladly pass it on. But as of right now, it's in the beginning stages of setting up policies so that we can protect all parties involved.
I know there was a Federal Correction Institute in Ohio published today. They've got over 500 inmates infected right now.
Yes,
In
and
one facility, and
it's ebbed and flowed pretty good through the correctional scene, so they're afraid to start another outbreak. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mike. We have Chief Deputy Todd Cummins with us. Sheriff Brian Maines is attending by Zoom the Crittenden Council meeting.
Our business really hadn't slowed down much. Coronavirus didn't affect us much. It's starting to pick back up again. We've had some study calls. We've not really slowed down very much at all. Our 3 new recruits are in week 9 of their field training. By the end of June, first part of July, we'll be looking at what to do with them since there's not a date for them to go back to finish the academy. So they'll be done with their field training with the Grant County Sheriff's Department and able to work the road by themselves before they ever actually go back and complete training. So we'll be looking at their shifts and what they're going to go to until they go back to training, which they have between 8 and 12 weeks of training left with the DOCJT.
And they haven't projected any return back to the classroom dates yet.
Yes, Todd asked me earlier because I'm on KLEC. They're looking at July 1 of bringing in the last class that was, or closest to graduate. And I think they had, about 8 weeks left?
8 weeks.
So as soon as they do their 8 weeks to maintain the 50 people capacity at the academy, then the class that these 3 recruits are in will start.
Okay, so they're not a part of what could come back.
They're
No,
not in
July
that.
1.
They're the class after that. So that
Wow.
in
I didn't
realistically
realize-
they could probably, hopefully go back in September and 12 weeks. If they make them do 12 weeks, you're talking September, October. They would graduate at the end of November, and then they would come back, probably do a week or so, just kind of get
Freshen
their feet
up a
back,
little.
and then they would have completed their training with the department, the field training.
I didn't realize there were 2 different batches. That's
Yes.
a big gap.
Yes.
Could be a very big gap.
Right.
I mean, for us, too.
Well, like I said, and they can work the road without completing DOCJT, but they will as soon as they can go back, they'll go back and complete that.
Got it.
Okay.
And they're all 3 doing fine. They're rookies. They're eager to get out there and do things.
Okay.
That's what they're doing. Anything else?
Well, that's it. Thanks a lot, Todd. Moving down to citizens' address. Does anyone want to address the court? Dave, come on up.
First off, as a county taxpayer, I'd like to thank the court for what you've done to our grand lady here. This is really awesome, and it's money well spent, and I just love it, and I think the citizens here will too, when they see it, and when we get the outside done,
Yep.
it's a winner.
Well, thank you, Dave.
I thank you very much.
In addition to that, Dave, I would like to extend a thanks to the judge on all he's done to make this happen, because he's did it at such a minimal cost, to the county. And I mean, it just looks wonderful, so I do want to thank you.
Well, thank you.
We got these cameras in here that we can access from our phone 24/7, no matter where we're at. And I can attest to this, that I've seen him up here many of the evening at night by himself, working. It saved us a whole lot of money by himself. A few times he was asleep. But he did a whole lot of work on his own up here in the evenings. I constantly check the cameras for the park and all, and I'd flip up here just to see how the work was coming, and he'd be up here by himself working, and he has definitely done above and beyond, and
Absolutely.
I want to
Well,
thank
thank
you
you.
personally for that.
Thanks.
The sad thing is, what has everybody done that came before you?
Yeah.
One tried to give us one over $1 million.
As far as the,
Okay.
There we go.
We want to be able to hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you about the Coronavirus Relief Fund, the CRF.
Yes.
I don't know what revenue you get in from the payroll tax, last year versus this year, whatever, but the loss of revenue from that, because a lot of people are off, can you go ahead and apply for that?
Well, here's what
Yep.
the CARES Act is giving us money to reimburse us for expenses. There's another we're hoping for, was part of the HEROES Act. It's in the U.S. Senate now, that's looking, and they're debating how they're going to spend it, that is a revenue source that will allow counties and cities to, any loss of revenue they had based off of payroll tax, insurance tax, anything like that, they would be able to receive monies for. Now, under the CARES Act on the reimbursement, not only are they reimbursing us on the petitions we're having to put up at the sheriff's office, we already have, we'll be doing it at the clerk's office, and also the judicial center for the court bailiffs, but also we're able to turn in the sheriff's office payroll that's been extended out during this coronavirus. So we're going to be able to get reimbursement for our payroll on that end. But as far as the revenue, that's a whole different bill that we're hoping that they get resolved soon.
Well, this whole Wuhan virus thing is not going to be over till November 4th.
No.
Mark that down on your calendar. And
Yeah.
lastly, I'd like to ask Mike, what's your shift staffing at the jail? How many people do you have on each shift? Okay, and you're running 2 shifts, right? Okay, thank you.
Well, Dave, thanks. Anyone else? John? We have Mayor Brockman. Okay. Okay.
We appreciate everything you've done with us.
Yeah.
Helped
A
us.
partnership.
Hey, turn your mic on, Greg. I don't know if it's
At
that
the
button.
bottom?
Yeah.
So one other thing is, we all know that we've been working, Chuck, Stephen, on this EMS. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll have this resolved and we can get all this behind us and not have to fight this for the next few years. So we appreciate all that you guys have helped us with to keep it in Dry Ridge, and hope that we continue to have a good service for the people of Grant County.
Okay. Well, thanks.
All right. Appreciate it.
Anyone else on citizens' address? If no one else has anything to say, before we adjourn, I want to remind everyone that Tuesday, June 16th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. will be our next meeting here in the Grant County Courthouse. With that said, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
Motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Codorn. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are now adjourned. Thank you all.